yet they couldn't win. There has been a paradigm shift in the way politics are being is evolving, and a paradigm shift in the way people are voting because of the medium of television. You don't need major parties to campaign for you on the ground. You're seen on prime time, and you have 15 million people knowing what you think and seeing you. And despite the craziness of Philippine politics because of our multi-party system, I think this is a good thing. This is what gives more democracy to running and gives more choice to people. I'm out there because my platform is completely different from the platforms of the other candidates. And if at least I can reach many people, if at least many people understand my vision, then that would be a service. I was very happy when Serge texted me and said, I can't wait till you're in the debates, because at least if at all, if people know your vision, then that will be a service too. So I've had I've had more positive support than any negative naysayers once I made the decision to run.
Sure, I get where you're coming from, and I'm just wondering, there are practical considerations, regardless of how much conviction you have. There are practical considerations. You need, depending on which politician you talk to, 1 billion or 2 billion pesos to mount a presidential campaign. You need people on the ground who will get out and knock on the doors and get people to vote for you, and then once they've voted, to make sure that they don't get stolen from you by the next guy. Do you have the resources?
I think the money politics is more on the local level. I don't think any national politician, maybe except for GMA, has tried to buy the the house-to-house, vote-for-vote votes. It's not a matter of, then I wouldn't have won in 2004, and then Trillanes wouldn't have won in 2007. Because when I ran, we had no machinery. And I've ran in 2 campaigns, 2001 and 2004, and there was really no machinery for any senator. So when you look at that, the billion scum, I think one of the richest candidates whose shenanigans are exposed in the Senate, is saying that if you don't have 1 billion or 2 or 3 billion, you can't run. Yes, maybe that's true if your brand of politics is to pay each and every local candidate, is to pay each and every councillor, pay each and every mayor. Yes, then you need so much money, because then you're back to patronage politics. And that's what we're trying to fight. That you don't need to bribe every person on the ground to get another person to vote for you. You are voted for because of something you're bringing to the country.
The strength of your ideas?
I think more than strength of the ideas is the sincerity of intent.
Well, you know, the surveys do show that what people are looking for is someone who they believe to be sincere and not corrupt. And to your credit, again, even if people disagree with you, nobody has said that you weren't sincere, and you've never been accused of corruption. So there is that. But you've also charted your own course.
Yes.
And you know, we both know you've made enemies, to say the least.
Yes, yes. I've made major enemies because, you know, my crusade against corruption among the ranks in the Senate. I mean, it's no secret that I filed an ethics case against Senator Villar. And that 90% of the black propaganda written in the same style in all the tabloids and newspapers comes from a major PR group against me. But if that is part of doing my job, to rid the Senate of corruption or to expose corruption, then at a great sacrifice to myself, I'm willing to do it.
Some people have suggested that you're running just to make sure that Villar doesn't win.
They can suggest that all they want, but at the end of the day, you know, Ricky, I was talking to Senator Lacson also. Senator Lacson and I are very close because we have never faltered. We may disagree in certain policy issues, but our voting records are very consistent. We are seatmates and we're very strong in our convictions. And he told me, Jambi, you run to win. And I said yes, because being a president is really determined not by your self-effort alone, but by the universal effort. And if your name is there, if you have your ticket in heaven, then that's part of the effort too. I mean, part is self-effort, but I believe in faith and fate.
Do you get frustrated sometimes when you look at the surveys and you've got other people way ahead? Villar is ahead of you.
Yes.
Noynoy Aquino is ahead of you. At this point, even Gilbert Chodoro is ahead of you.
Yes.
Does that frustrate you? Does that intimidate you at all?
No, because when I ran for the Senate, I was also very low in the surveys. If I believed the surveys, I should never have ran for Senate. And I was number 4 from nothing. If I believed the surveys, then I should never have supported Senator Trillanes. With 5 million pesos, who would think? So, no, I don't believe the surveys, and I believe that year after year, I have my own internal survey, which costs me more, and which we believe are untainted. But year after year, you can see how the surveys are being just a mirror of the times, or a mirror of what people want, not the general public, a mirror of maybe what interest groups want.
So are you saying that you don't trust the surveys?
I don't trust the surveys. And Dick Gordon too, when we talk, he doesn't have surveys too. He doesn't trust the surveys. We don't have that, I believe we don't want to waste that much money to be able to be a big player in the survey. In the survey, shall we call, competition. Pre-election, you need to be high in the surveys if you need a lot of fundraising.
Yeah. Are you funding yourself?
I'm funding myself, and there are other people funding me, but small. I mean, a few thousand pesos here and there. I'm not going to be indebted to any big
donors.
Shall we say,
Special
vested
interests.